Hey, everybody. Welcome to 6 Feet Unfiltered. I'm Chloe.
I'm Courtney, and we have our first guest speaker today.
Our friend Drew from Angelite. Is that how you pronounce it correctly?
Yeah, thank you. Everyone always says Angelite.
Ooh, oh no,
Oh,
Angelite.
Yeah, it's
Angelite
Angelite
Astrology,
Astrology. Thank you.
for sure. And tell us what you do, Drew, and how
yeah.
this all came to be. Well, just you
Yeah.
are steering the ship.
Oh my God, my dream come true is like the 6 feet under astrology crossover. So thanks for having me. I've been an astrologer for the last like 8, 9 years and tarot reader. I live in LA. I do events. I do readings like one-on-one. But yeah, I feel like normally sometimes I think it's like kind of cheesy when somebody talks about the astrology of fictional characters, but Six Feet Under is my favorite show ever, and I feel like the characters feel so real that you really can have such an interesting discussion about astrology, like with them. So, yeah, I'm just like excited. Thanks for having me.
For sure. I totally
Yeah.
agree with that too. I feel like 6 Feet Under is on a totally another level of depth and dimension than literally any other show out there. Where can people find you to follow you and see your work so we
And
get your plug in?
Instagram and TikTok, Angelite Astrology. Yeah. I'll like
We'll
tag
link
you
these two
guys.
below.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, where should we start? So basically, we're going to go through, I guess, and talk about. Drew is going to talk about the sun, moon, rising signs, or hypothetical, right? Sun, moon, rising signs of some of the main
Yeah.
characters in 6 Feet Under.
Maybe
The
we should start with
only
talking about what those are.
Yeah, okay. So first, it's the only confirmed astrology sign is Nate. There is one scene where somebody's like, "Oh, you're a Libra," but everyone else is going to be hypothetical. And I'll do Sun, Moon, Rising. And I want to tell you guys about yours since I didn't realize that like you guys hadn't done that before. So this is going to be fun, but basically your sun, moon, and rising. When somebody asks for the birth time, it's so they can figure out the rising. But this sun sign is like your ego, your identity, your birthday. It's really how you show up like every day. And the rising sign is like the outer shell and how people receive you initially. So I try not
Interesting.
to, yeah, like I try not to guess people's signs because I find that you like look more like your rising sign, or I might see you as your rising more than your sun, or like,
Yep.
so sometimes people are like, guess my sign. I'm like, can I guess your rising? But then there's the moon, and the moon is like very private, emotional. 5 minutes before you fall asleep at night, it's like that final voice in your head. And it's just this very private part of you where I feel like only people that you really like love, and maybe when you're drunk it comes out. But also like it's just this very private part of you connects to family and the roots. Yeah.
Interesting. Oh my God, I'm so excited.
I fucking love this shit so much. One of my sisters is super into like tarot and watching all the tarot people, which you do tarot too, right?
Yeah.
She loves watching all the tarot YouTubers and stuff, and we've been really into that together lately. Where we send each other like 3 readings a day and everything. We're just like, oh my god! So I'm
I
this is
love
like
that.
very timely for me for and what I've been into lately. We've always been into kind of this weird, not weird, but like woo woo.
Well,
We're a little woo woo.
yeah,
So I'm super
this is a
excited.
6 feet under rewatch pod, so I feel like we're all like some type of spiritual.
Yeah,
um,
kindred spirits for sure.
yeah, okay, wait, let me like pull yours. So, okay. Who wants to know their sun, moon, rising stuff first? And I can do both of you, and then we'll do the characters.
Perfect. You can do Courtney's first.
Okay. So you were a Gemini rising, Gemini moon, and Aquarius sun. Um,
Yep.
that was like okay. So, okay. That is you guys actually both have this similarity where you have like two of one sign in your big three. So we can like talk
I
about that.
noticed that.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's cool because that's also
I thought
kind
that
of
was interesting
rare.
too.
Yeah, it's like I find it to be somewhat rare for the big three. And so yeah, basically it's like your Gemini rising and your moon being together, this like part of you that is the rising sign in the show and the private part of you, them being together, it's like you're always going to kind of feel like your emotions are on display. Um, and like also though, you're going to be very emotionally adaptable, like understand a lot of like different types of people and emotions and concepts, and you can kind of like move things. You can move through things pretty just like with a sense of duality, like two truths can be held at the same time. And it's a very communication heavy sign. Um,
I l- I love all
and
this.
does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
also like
So the
the
duality is
podcasting.
the
He's always
Yeah.
been a chatty.
oh, that's
Yeah.
what that was? Yeah.
Well, yeah, so I was gonna
Yeah.
say Gemini's communication. So when I was trying to like guess your signs, I was like, I feel like there has to be Gemini because like you have to want to like share the knowledge and like that's what excites you is like learning things and teaching them and like Gemini is kind of like this very, like your high school years, your elementary school, through middle school, through those teenage years are very like the Gemini part of life. So they have this sort of like eternal
Oh.
youth vibe to them. And they're just like born to communicate through all different types of ways. So it's like writing, podcasting, talk therapy, journaling, like all the different methods are like important for you to like play around with. And then like the Aquarius sun, I would think like kind of holds you together in all of that and keeps you at the core. Like Aquarius is more like stubborn and knows who it is. Um, but yeah, very intellectual, like all air energy. Yeah.
I noticed that they were all air signs too.
Yeah. I noticed you had Venus in Aries. I'm not sure. We'll do a reading like sometime, but making sure you kind of like have all four elements in your life is important. Um, and like in your chart.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
How
so
do you know what
interesting.
your chart what is the chart?
So here, I'll show you like what I look at when I'm looking at this stuff.
This is really cool for our viewers too to see what all of this stuff means and in such depth right before we're doing the characters. I feel like it'll
Oh
make more
yeah.
sense.
Here we. So when you give me like your birth time and all of that, I put it into like my like database. But I basically this is like what it looks like. I have like a ton of there's just like
Okay.
planets, but that's what I'm looking at. So you're like Aquarius sun, Gemini moon, Mercury in Aquarius, Venus in Cancer, Mars in Cancer. And then you're rising. Okay, so you lack the earth element. So like it can be harder for you to feel grounded. You have to like spend time in nature more, eat more
Hmm.
root vegetables, like put your feet in
Okay.
grass. Like there's if you like habit stacking and like exercise that makes you feel like steady and strong, just bring that earth element in and cuz you like just don't have it in any of your main planets. Yeah.
That is
Damn.
so interesting. And I feel like that is so spot on for you, Courtney, being
I
like you
know.
are. Is Aquarius an air sign or is Aquarius
Yeah.
Yeah.
fire? Oh, okay.
No,
Aquarius
So
is
you're
Aquarius
all
is
air.
air. Yep.
oh my
Yeah.
gosh. And you are so like that is so you is to just like I can see, not in a mean way at all, but like I can see how you needing grounding would make sense because you're always all over the place. Like sometimes in a really good way, you know, but like that's you.
No, yeah, I
I
feel
love
like
Oh,
I've
that.
met a lot of
100%.
people with no earth, and I just feel like they can like keep moving with like such crazy energy also, where I'm like, where are you getting all that
Yeah.
energy? But it's good to just like reconnect with the earth element, do things that feel grounding, and that will kind of like help bring in that like missing piece of the chart. Yeah.
That's so crazy. I just started smoking weed again just to like start feeling a
Yeah.
little bit more grounded. And it's like it's so fucking weird. You're telling
I
my
love that.
soul what it needs to hear.
You need the earth element. Um, Yeah, it's
Some green
definitely
grass.
green grass, smoke it, roll around in it, like put your feet in it.
Right on.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Okay, wait. Let me pull yours. Okay. You are Chloe. You are a Scorpio rising, Leo sun, and Leo moon. Um,
Okay.
you also have like a lot of energy in Leo, but like in general, if we're just doing like those three, it's like, okay, the Scorpio rising for you is, I'm trying not to get too advanced. Hold on. Astrology moves off of degrees. So you have like the minute you were born, the rising signs had just changed. So you're in the earliest possible 0 degree of Scorpio rising, which just feels like it's a level of intensity on the surface that maybe you didn't ask for. Like maybe you find people are like intimidated by this like powerful presence that you have. It gives very
Yes.
like cool
We
style
thought
and
she was a
like
bitch.
yeah, and that's like the plight of the Scorpio rising, but like especially 0 degree because it's like it's right there. It just got there, so it's a very like apparent energy with like how people are perceive you. So you have like a powerful
Wow.
presence and kind of gives like the ability to like see things in other people and pick up on things. And like also it's like I find that Scorpio rising people are both of you might have this and like maybe it's something that makes you close in your friendship, but you having like Courtney having like the moon in the first house and always feeling very emotionally exposed and then like you having this like Scorpio rising misunderstood thing happening. I just feel like you could bond over that probably. But another thing is that with you, your sun in Leo and your moon in Leo, kind of, it's like once somebody really knows you, they really know you because your private emotional world actually is pretty aligned with the sun and the identity and the ego because they're in the same sign. So, like, the voice 5 minutes before you fall asleep at night is Leo, and the sun is Leo. But it's like, okay, Scorpio is very uncomfortable with attention, and you have all of this like Leo energy where it's like you're born to have attention and be in the spotlight, but there could be this also like a deep shyness to that Scorpio energy. And it's like a balance of like having to meet yourself halfway of like letting this Scorpio experience being seen for all like the Leo light because it's always going to kind of be like a little bit shy about it, but I feel like when you can really step into it, it's like the ultimate like confident vibe. But yeah, it's also very fixed and then element wise you are also missing Earth.
Oh shit.
Like both of you need to go put your feet in grass.
We need to go touch grass, Courtney, immediately.
No Earth.
I mean, I wish we had grass right now.
True.
Yeah, true. Like, I have a lot of grass over here in LA. Um,
Oh my gosh.
yeah. Um,
So
well,
same thing for Courtney. We need to. Am I? But mine are fire signs, and it's
yes.
Scorpio. What is Scorpio? Fire as well.
Water. Water.
Water.
Yes. And then you had some Libra, I believe, in there. So that would be air, but it's like the earth is lacking.
Okay. Weird. That's so interesting.
Yeah, I think it's like there's also just a really when you have um the Leo and the Scorpio, you're dealing with very fixed energy. Like those signs are born at the height of their season. They're known to like commit. So you're also just like a very you are who you are vibes. I don't know. I'm very like Scorpio. Also, I was gonna guess that somebody had Scorpio because it does represent like death and rebirth and transformation, which like is 6 feet under. And my whole chart's in Scorpio pretty much, so it makes sense that it's my favorite
Wow.
show. Yeah.
That is so cool. No, I love that. That's so interesting. And I definitely relate to like what you just said, Courtney. You all thought I was, you thought I was a bitch. Like, just what do you mean by that in high school and stuff? Or that's, I feel like,
No,
Yeah.
uh, oh,
even right when we first met you and Kelly got a bloody nose.
oh yeah, in sixth grade on the playground. That's been my whole life. And even my sisters will tell me like that I come off as a bitch. And I'm like, bitch, what? Like, I'm not a bitch. I'm nice, but like
Yeah.
that is definitely something that's so interesting. I promise I'm
Yeah.
not, though, everyone. I'm really nice.
Me too. With all like I don't know if you guys know like Girl So Confusing by Lord, but she has like all the Scorpio rising and everything, and she's literally it's like girl, you walk like a bitch. When I was 10, someone said that, and I'm like, people told me I was a bitch or walking like a bitch when I was like 15. It's just like the Scorpio
Oh my
That's
life.
gosh.
hilarious.
Yeah, I was like, damn.
Own it.
Like it's okay.
I love that. Okay, so Drew, will you tell us
I
a
have
little bit about your chart?
Oh, okay, yeah. So I'm Gemini rising, Scorpio sun, Capricorn moon. Yeah, which is like
Do you have, yeah, what does that mean?
I feel like it's like people like I've seen like memes about how like oh no, run for your life, it's a Scorpio cat moon, but I think it's like I feel kind of like a well-oiled machine. Like my chart gets along with each other, but I think the Gemini rising gives me like a lightness and like an ability to like be adaptable and communicate. I think Scorpio and Capricorn alone can be pretty like heavy and serious. So I like my chart. I like Capricorn is an earth sign, so I like having like the earth element as my moon. Like I always kind of feel grounded emotionally on some level because I have an earth moon.
mhm.
Um, yeah. I don't know. I've grown to love my chart over the years. Like, yeah, the more that I've learned about astrology, it helps with like self-acceptance.
Mhm.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
love stuff like
therapeutic.
that.
Yeah. Because sometimes it's like, oh, why do I do that? And then you realize you're kind of like prone to it based off of some of the things in your chart. And you can just be like, oh, okay, let me work with that more.
Hmm.
Yes. When you know better, you can do better.
Exactly.
I have a little anecdote about I'm so fire and water. And like I was telling you guys earlier, that my sister and I have been really into watching all these tarot videos. I was up visiting where I'm from last weekend, and we were watching all these videos, and the one of like the big themes that kept coming up is like, Leo, don't let your water put out your fire. Like, that kept coming up, and now it's just weird that we're talking about that,
That's
and I'm
weird.
realizing that Makes sense.
Yeah, because those elements like put each other out. So it's like when they come
Yeah.
together, they have to just really they can work together powerfully though. Like I feel like Scorpio Leo together is so creative. Yeah.
So we want to do something where we pull apart or pull. Who do we all have? We have David, Nate, um, Brenda,
All the
Ruth,
Fishers, Brenda
Claire,
and Rico, right? Or I can't remember what we
Yeah,
said.
By the time I
Yeah.
got
Rico.
to Rico, I was like fine, and then I was like I won't like disrespect Vanessa, like I'll say her sun sign. Um, but but then
For
I
sure.
think that'll
also,
be perfect.
yeah, there was like this really interesting thing also when I was thinking about it, and I had written the whole list of everything out, and I was like, there's one sign that's missing. And I was like, there's no Gemini anywhere in the big three of any of these characters. And then I was like, oh my God, it's because it's like a show about people that don't communicate, like a family that doesn't communicate at all. And they all like can't breathe. Like, and we'll talk about their charts more and how like the elements come together for them. But then I had this thought, and like I know you guys are only on season 2, so you can like edit this how you want, but like George, when he comes in, like that man is such a Gemini, and they're all like, shut up. Like they're all so annoyed, but he's like always just trying to communicate with them. And I was thinking
Oh
like
my
maybe
gosh.
Nathaniel, I was like, oh, maybe Nathaniel Sr. brought the Gemini in, and maybe Aunt Sarah
Mhm.
kind of sprinkles it in, but they're always like very bothered by it. The Fishers want nothing to do with
Yep.
Gemini energy. So there's no Gemini
Huh.
in any of it.
That is so funny. Oh my gosh. I bet Sarah for sure would have some Gemini in her chart,
Oh
but
yeah.
I love that. And that's so true.
It's like, wow, you're realizing
Okay.
things. So I
Well,
feel
let's
like,
just start with the first one and we'll just add our commentary as you tell us what you think.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys can kind of like, if you want to just like throw a character name at me, and then I'll get my notes, and you guys can guide in that way.
Are you
Should
planning
we
on
start
doing
with Ruth?
Nathaniel?
Let's
Yeah, I
start
was
with
just gonna
Ruth.
say,
Yeah.
yeah, the matriarch
Oh my God. Okay, yeah.
might as well.
Oh, Ruth. Okay.
Courtney's favorite.
I think it's so fair to be kind of a Ruth hater, but like, oh, her acting is so good that I'm just like, I love her.
My God, I know. It's incredible.
Francis Conroy, shout out. Francis Conroy and Michael C. Hall are like two of the best actors, I think, on this planet.
I agree. And
That might
I
be
felt
pushing it,
like,
but they're really fucking amazing.
I feel like I like the Fisher's charts are kind of like all connected. But so I made Ruth a Cancer Sun, Aries Moon, Virgo rising. And I'm gonna get into why, but
Yeah.
Cancer is obviously like the classic mother archetype, and I do feel like she has that like in her life. I feel like she's the mother character. She is the nurturer of her family, but at the same time, she has this Virgo rising. And something I'm going to also explain better when I'm talking about these characters is like Virgo rising or your rising sign is very connected to how you handle romantic relationships, like the sign opposite your rising. So Ruth is a Virgo rising, Cancer Sun, Aries Moon. And what that really is like Virgo on top. So on the surface, it's like extremely cautious and kind of tense and anxious and always caring about like doing the tasks that need to be done, right? Like she's always like Cancer, Virgo rising, Aries moon is like very passive aggressive cooking and randomly exploding and being like, I'm speaking from the eye. So she is a Cancer sun, and in the sense that her identity is tied to being a mother, but it isn't soft. And I'm not roasting Cancers. Cancer, Virgo, and Aries together in that type of big three is not very, it's putting all her emotions in the fire element, how she expresses in the earth element, and how she is in the day to day in water of emotions. So it's like it just there's a lack of air. There's a lack of being able to like step outside herself and like take a breath. So a lot of it
Mm-hmm.
comes out in like a passive aggressive rooting to be needed. Sometimes when you mix Cancer and Virgo together, you kind of get this like toxic caretaker nurturer archetype of like I just did all the laundry for you and like the cooking the dinner and like the wanting people to help, but like do you want them to help or do you want them to just be like thank you so much? Um
Yeah.
but the Aries moon to me is like what makes Ruth so redeemable, honestly, is because I feel like Aries moon people, the private emotional world for them, they seek this independence and self-sufficiency and they're so emotionally raw. And I think that's why like later on down the road, like Bettina is like the most like healing girl for her, and Sarah over time, like it's just so sweet. But she's on such a quest of like choosing herself and finding herself. And as a Virgo rising, that puts Virgo in her first house. And so it's how she presents. But opposite of that, that puts the sign of Pisces in her seventh house. So when it comes to lovers, she's like a little bit delusional, a little bit too generous. She makes questionable decisions.
Yeah.
There's a lot like giving all her money away at times when she really shouldn't, or just like there is, I mean, I don't want to give like spoilers, but I'm just like, there's moments
No,
where
it's
you're
okay.
just like, girl, it's not the
Yeah.
time. But it's this very raw, messy need for her to reclaim, I think, like years lost in, she ends up reflecting a lot, I think, about like childhood, but as a Virgo rising, she's very people pleasing, she's over functioning, and she just like nurtures through doing things. And I think it's like we really start to see her learn how to like choose herself and still like also like communicate. But yeah, that's kind of my read on Ruth.
That sounds spot on. You know what you made me think
I
of was
totally agree.
one of the earlier episodes. It was like the second or third episode, I think, when she goes to the racetrack with the horse track with her friend Amelia, and then she blows all her money, and she's like, "I spent okay, I spent $25,000. All right, you got it out of me or whatever." When no one even like asked her, and she's just like losing it. But
Nobody says
I
a
was,
thing. Oh, all
yeah,
right.
Yeah, don't.
That's what I did.
Yeah, like
Oh, all right. I was jacking off.
the way that she bursts is something that feels very much like what happens when you have a fire crazy moon that needs to do all these things, but a Virgo rising that's always like be polite, be aware of how everyone else is feeling, and like the Cancer that wants you to, like, Cancer most toxic trait is like they want you to know what they're feeling without telling you and act accordingly. And then you're like, wait, why are you mad at me? And it's like because they didn't really tell you the expectations. I love Cancers. My sister's
Mm-hmm.
Cancer. Sorry if you're watching this. She doesn't do that, but it's like definitely something that I actually feel like it naturally can like we could go to David next from her, but because I kind of was thinking how similar they are in the style of their
Agreed. Let's
outbursts.
do that.
Yeah. Um, and I love what you guys said about like how they all have such an inner fire. So I did kind of include that in
Uh-huh.
this. Like, yeah. So, okay, wait, let me get David. Okay. So David is a Virgo sun, Sagittarius moon, and I think he is a Taurus rising. So Taurus rising is Earth sign in that first house. So, like, how he's coming off to everybody is cool, calm, collected, a little bit tense, but always like it would be kind of hard to tell what he's actually kind of feeling or read him because it's like he has this composure and this Taurus rising ability. Like Taurus risings can just really articulate themselves in such a way. Um, but I think he's a Virgo sun
I
because
feel
at
like
his
Taurus are pretty
core,
grounding.
yeah. And it's like, so why is he so anxious? But it's like I think because he's a Virgo sun. Because
But
Virgo
he's
is a
so good. I
very
feel like wasn't it David that like kind of tried to make the merit like them getting engaged and or moving in and stuff? Wasn't that kind of him that was like trying to ground the situation?
yeah. And
Or
I
am I
think he's
crazy?
no, I feel like he always like pushes that stuff forward with like a brave energy. And I do think Taurus is
Yeah.
like the bull. And I think that's why he's not a Virgo rising like his mother, even if maybe he's a Virgo sun, the way her rising is. It's like he's a little bit more able to speak up for himself and initiate the
Mm-hmm.
things that he wants in his relationship. And if he's a Taurus rising, that puts his relationship energy in Scorpio energy. And I think that Keith is a Scorpio, but we'll get into it. But that would put Keith in his like house of marriage. Um, because I'm going to talk a little bit about
Mm.
like why they'd be together. But it's like he craves that Scorpio depth in his relationships and in love, whereas like Ruth as a Virgo rising with Pisces in the seventh would crave more of a fantasy. I feel like David is like, who's gonna be the one that like Taurus rising people are like, who's gonna be able to tell when I'm actually not okay and who's gonna be able to give me the real depth of like who's gonna be there for me when things are bad too. And I feel like that's where him and Keith really shine. Like they
Yep.
are not, they never make it look easy, but the way they're such like soulmates, even through like the darkest times, I feel like he's so, I don't know, like they just have such like a deep thing. So I feel like,
Yeah.
you know,
I was going to say, when you first started talking about them, I'm like, if anybody on this show is truly soulmates, it's David and Keith. Like,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like side note, but I was just watching this episode where they're having like a dinner with Lisa and Nate and
yeah.
Lisa and Nate are just like, everything's so great. We never fight. And she's like, how's your couples therapy? And like that, kind of like talking to them in a way, but it's like they're so raw and open about their struggles as a couple. And it's like, we all know who the soulmates are at that dinner. And it's
Yeah.
just like the way they're so unafraid to show all the ugly parts. That's very Taurus
Yep.
rising, Scorpio coded to me. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, he feels a lot like David and Ruth feel really similar to me in this sense of like having this fire and this earth, but his moon, Sagittarius, I feel like is what makes him so open-minded. And Sagittarius is also religion. So I feel like his relationship with the church and spirituality,
Interesting.
yeah, like I feel like he's really so spiritual and open-minded and he does that thing of like being a gay man that's Christian, which is such like a niche, interesting thing on this show. I feel like that I haven't really
Yeah.
like seen that done the way they do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's completely like ahead of its time for sure. I mean,
Wait.
that's not even a common thing today.
Yeah. And like, yeah, to think this show's happening in like 2001 and just like he's in this, like, he's like married to this, or he's dating this like gay black cop. He also, I feel like with David, it's like he captures this really interesting like post AIDS crisis era of like gay men that I just feel like are really like
So
afraid.
true.
Like he's so afraid, and you don't really see that. I feel like he's just such an underrated like gay character, and yeah, you just don't see that, but he has this like fear of being seen for who he is because he like understands the danger of just like societies against him. So he really is so brave to like speak in church and stuff like that. But also it's like he's so protective over his community and just goes on such a journey with that. So I'm like, he definitely to me feels very like Sagittarius moon. Like he's always gonna want to be emotionally free and truthful. Yeah.
Yeah. I love David so much. I love all of the
I
Fishers
know.
so much. Like talking about them makes me want to cry.
Like, why are
That's not
do I think
probably
they're real?
healthy, but
Like my friends.
I wish they are in
Have you guys
my head.
visited LA and like have you ever gone to the house?
No, I would
No.
love to though.
You gotta go. You could
I
just
have
pull
an
up.
aunt. I was gonna say, let's hang out. We should make plans to visit each other because
I
this is
know.
already so fun.
I
But
know
I
it's
have an
fun.
auntie who lives in LA or like right outside of LA. Always forget? I think it might be Redondo Beach. Is that by
Oh,
LA?
yeah, that's pretty close. Yeah.
I think she lives in Redondo Beach, or it might
Okay.
be something else, but I don't know. Anyway, um, yeah, I would love to come there and see the house. We should do that as like our finale,
When
Courtney.
it,
We can like plan an
I love that
extravaganza.
idea.
Yeah,
But we can
it's
come there before that too.
yeah, no, and like it's just so crazy because the house is there, it's untouched. So there's been like every once in a while I'll drive by and I'm like, "Oh my God." But it's crazy just
That'd
like
be so
living
cool.
here
So
for
can you go inside of it?
you can't, but my friend and I a few months ago went and like sat on the porch. Like we were just like having a day and we went and sat on the porch and I was like, this is so cool. Because HBO owns it for filming.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh.
They filmed an episode of Insecure in there, and I was like, I know what this is. What are you doing? Like, I was like, what's happening?
Oh
Oh
my
my
gosh.
God.
Haven't seen that show.
I think you guys would love it. We can do Keith next, I feel
Oh,
like, maybe. Okay. So, moving from David to Keith, because I also feel like that's like a fun lesson for people, is if somebody's
Yep.
sun sign is opposite of your rising, that means that their sun is illuminating your house of marriage and relationships, and they're going to like embody a lot of things. So for you, that would be Taurus, Chloe, and Courtney, that would be Sagittarius for you. Um,
So good or
interesting.
they're good or they're bad.
they're good. They're good. They're gonna like embody. I find that it's the sign that you're drawn to in relationships, you know? Like it's just that's where they illuminate it. Um,
Okay.
Okay.
they're
So
gonna
I
embody
need to find me a Taurus.
Okay, you
yeah.
can have Rob.
So take them.
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay.
All right. That's
Oh my
Courtney's
God.
husband.
I like figured I'm like love that. Okay. So, um, I think that Keith is a Scorpio sun, Leo rising, Taurus moon. And this was like a conflicting one for me because David is always accusing him of being self-righteous and self-righteousness is usually associated with like Aquarius energy. Um so I think you could have Aquarius somewhere in him, but I think overall like Scorpio sun, Leo rising, Taurus moon when you put them together you're putting together three signs that are considered fixed, and that can cause a lot of tension and rage issues and just sort of just like tension built up in the chart where you have to do the work and you have to meet yourself like halfway. but there's such like an intensity. But it's like despite all of like the anger or rage associated with the character, like he's so deeply loving. And something that really strikes me about him is as a Leo rising, he's actually very like proud of who he is and very comfortable like with his masculinity and his femininity in this way that does give Leo rising. Like he's not afraid to be like a diva and just who he is. But his Scorpio sun would put his Scorpio sun in the house of childhood for him. And Scorpio sun in the fourth
Mm.
house is somebody that grew up around a lot of manipulation and power dynamics and sees a lot of dark things in their childhood. But if you have the sun in your fourth house, you're also incredibly loyal and deeply connected to your roots. So it's like there's moments in this show where I feel like David is like tries to get involved and he's like stop, or things happen where it's like David sometimes can't understand, I think, Keith's like loyalty and soft spot for all this
Mhm.
stuff that he suffered when he was younger, but that's a very like sun in your fourth house, Scorpio, Leo rising type of thing. Like it's like he's so afraid of becoming his father and he's so afraid of sort of his own intensity. But ultimately Scorpio is a sign that's all about attachment and like connection and like really like attachment and connection and is so tender. And I just feel like he is so like he's so stable in who he is. Like he's not changing. He pretty much like he evolves and he does work on himself for sure, but like he has this really stable energy that I think for David is like super grounding. Um
Yeah.
but yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's why they broke up at like the first time or whatever. We're seeing them,
Yeah.
we're at the part now where they're starting to get back together, but that's why he left David to begin with, because he was like so grounded with who he was, and
Mhm.
David was like not ready
Yeah,
for
like
that.
he like knows who he is, and if I think if anything, Keith has a Taurus moon, like what happens with and Taurus, if he's a Taurus moon and David is a Taurus rising, that would also give them relationship synastry. Like that would put his moon, like Keith's moon would be in David's rising. So David would have the ability to be able to understand him emotionally in a way that like maybe other people can't. So for relationship stuff. But Taurus moon people tend to be super comfortable in whatever emotional state they're in, like almost too comfortable. So like they could get a little bit lazy or comfortable in situations that maybe aren't fully aligned because they feel super grounded there, but the moon is happy there.
Mm.
So like ultimately he's grounded and knows who he is. Um but yeah, I just feel like at his core he's such a lover, even if it's like intense. And I don't know, yeah, I love Keith.
Mhm.
I love Keith.
Yeah,
I love her so cute.
me too. Me
Yeah.
too. I just swoon every
I
time
love
they're
them together. It's so
shown
sweet.
together. I know.
Yeah. I really just feel like they're
Flutters.
not like talked about as one of the most like iconic gay couples that I've ever seen on TV. It's one of the realest depictions and it just but I'm like, all right, whatever. It's like our little
I
secret.
know. Right. I'm like, I can't believe how like the lack of, I mean, I know 6 Feet Under is like a popular show, but how is it not every single person's favorite show?
Yeah,
You
and
know, like
like
it's so good.
I feel like so many of my best friends and closest friends are gay men, and like actually not one of them has seen it. And I'm just like, you're missing out on something that would like heal you to watch.
Yes.
Mhm.
And
Yes.
watch them.
For sure. On so many, for everybody,
Yeah.
truly. But yes, especially that. But genuinely, it is such a healing show because we were kind of talking about that during our last episode, but like especially with just all of how flawed everybody is, and it's so relatable and it's so healing in that way because you you fall in love with the characters and then you see how they're just human, just like you, and you connect on such a deep level with them. I feel like ugh, I don't even know the
Yeah.
word for it. It's overwhelming almost.
Like, I feel like the Fishers are healers. Like that scene where Ruth's like at the flower shop and she just like bursts into hysterics because she realizes like flowers has
Oh
always
yeah.
been a sad thing. And you're like, she's like absorbing so much in that house. And they're just, I don't know. They're a very like Scorpio coded family, but I don't think I put Scorpio in any of their only only Keith and Brenda. Only the romantic partners that they're drawn to. So, yeah.
Interesting.
Speaking,
Who should we do?
okay, that's interesting. Should we start? Let's do Nate's.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Let's do Nate. Even though I'm a queer lesbian woman, I feel like Nate is like my one. I'm like, I love him. That's the love of my life.
Really?
So
Oh my
bad.
gosh. From day one, I'm like, fuck Nate. But I get it. I do get it.
Like,
Oh, he's such a dude, you know,
yeah, I feel like you'd break my heart. I'm Lisa coded. I'm
for
like,
sure.
I love him. Um, so okay. He okay. Nate, so they say that he's a Libra on the show, and then she says something interesting too, where she's like, I would have taken you for a Capricorn. And
Mhm.
at first I was gonna give him a Libra rising, but it's like, oh no, he's a Capricorn rising, and he's a Sagittarius moon like David.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I think he's the most stereotypical Libra man that I have ever seen on TV. Like it's pretty funny that they made him a Libra because
So
I
they
remember
went there,
they
right?
knew what they were doing for sure. Cause it's like I remember watching it and being like, "Oh, he's such a Libra," and then they said it a few episodes in because they say it kind of early, and I was like, "Oh my God!" Like the way that he's so flirty and non-committal and philosophical and always trying to do what's fair, but also like not he's like very idealistic in the way that he sees things. And Libra men as a Scorpio, I just feel like they're like my I think that's why I feel that way about him is cuz that idealistic thing that they have to them and that romantic quality. I'm a Scorpio, like I see all the darkness, so I love that for them and I'm so attracted to it in them. And I definitely think
Yep.
Brenda's a Scorpio, but it's like he just has this need for balance that I find to be like very Libra, and he has to accept like the darker things. Um, and I feel like the Sagittarius moon also is very much like him moving away to Seattle, getting on a plane and moving far away from his family. That's like definitely a very Sagittarius in your big three. You should like move far away because it's always like a healing thing. But the Libra and the Sagittarius, I think, kind of egg each other on in his chart and just make for this very like always needing to seek a new truth and always wanting everything to be an adventure and being very afraid I think of like losing his freedom. Um
Yeah.
yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and then the Capricorn rising with him I think makes the most sense because it Capricorn rising once again, and I guess that's family astrology without noticing. It's like Ruth, David, and Nate. I gave them without noticing all three different earth sign risings. Um,
Ooh.
yeah, so it's like his Capricorn rising would just be kind of the part of him that's able to always be like super charming, keep it together at all times. Um, like Capricorn rising people in pop culture, like Ariana Grande or like Olivia Rodrigo, or just people that kind of like very careful about what they share. Um, but when it comes to relationships, that would put Cancer in his seventh house. And I do think he has mommy issues and is searching for like a mom in partners in a way. And like, I just feel like that made sense to me. So that was like my take on him.
I love
I
that.
feel like that's spot on.
For sure. Is Libra like the stereotypical like fuckboy sign?
Pisces for
Yeah.
men. Like Pisces women, no, but Pisces man, yes. And like Libra man, yes. And it's Libra, they're ruled by Venus. So it's like being ruled by the planet of love and harmony and beauty. And like they can't even help it. It's just like, oh, to be a Libra. I feel like they're like way more relaxed.
Oh, oh, what's
But
that like?
yeah, he's definitely like restless though. And I feel like that there is that tension in his chart still of like Libra and Capricorn don't exactly go well together because they're always trying to initiate and start something new, but they kind of get in each other's way. So I just feel like he's kind of lost. um
Yeah,
so yeah, that made sense for him.
love it. He's
Yeah.
definitely lost.
He's
Oh, yeah.
yeah, and like searching in a way that feels very Sagittarius to me. And I guess I like the idea of like him and David both having this Sagittarius moon because Sag moon people, despite all like the things they see, they usually remain really optimistic. Like I feel like my mom's the Sagittarius moon and she was around so much death as a kid and she's like one of the most like emotionally optimistic people I know. Like they always kind of can see a bigger truth and zoom out when it comes to their emotional world. So Sagittarius moon,
Mm-hmm.
like it's a gift that they have of this like emotional expansion and open-mindedness. Um Brenda Claire.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So Brenda, I said maybe I was projecting, but I gave her my sun and moon. I was like, Brenda is a Scorpio sun Capricorn moon girl, if I've ever seen one. And a Sagittarius rising. um,
Oh
which
Oh,
yeah.
I love it.
I can't
yeah.
wait to hear about Brenda.
Yeah, so Scorpio is all about like psychology and sex and darkness and I mean like Scorpio is secrecy, Capricorn is privacy, and even when you guys asked me about my chart, I all of a sudden kind of like stopped being able to explain it. It's like there's such an emotional privacy with people that have a Capricorn moon. It's like we have a whole secret world. So like
Interesting.
the private unraveling of Brenda is something that personally I feel like I was in a relationship that was very like Nate Brenda coded, but also like David Keith. But I have felt like Brenda before in that way, where it's like she has this like awareness of the psychology and all of the dark things in life. And it's so rare
Yep.
to see a character on TV that like is a genius or so smart but doesn't know what to like do with any of it and just like doesn't like she's so lost
Yeah.
in a way that Nate is. Um and I think that's where her Sag rising comes into is like I think that's where her and Nate align as a couple if anything would be like his Sagittarius
Mm-hmm.
moon and her Sagittarius rising. Um Similar to actually without even noticing it but like Keith and David having this moon and rising thing.
Yeah.
It's weird. But yeah, I think it's like the way that they want to do their love differently than other people do it. And there's this like strange authenticity about the way that they make decisions on things like marriage or conversations about children. Like there's just something so like alternative and Sagittarius about their relationship dialogue and open-mindedness that I really relate to, that I think can really only come from somebody with like the composure of a Capricorn moon, Scorpio sun, Sag rising. Because it's like love is a very mental thing for her. She just, I think, like, she really, I don't know, I feel like out of all of the characters, I think like Brenda embodies all of the themes of Six Feet Under just in her character, like, kind of more than any of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I love that.
That's
Yeah.
fucking wild.
She is so complex. And I
Yeah.
really love how you put the parallel of like Brenda's emotional like searching and it to Nate's, because they are very similar in that way, but they're also so opposite in so many ways. But their journey is so
Yeah,
similar.
because she's so much more sure of herself. Because when you're a Scorpio sun, Capricorn moon, there's this way where it's like your emotions are Capricorn. So you understand how to sort of like, Capricorn is this sign that's all about taking responsibility and keeping things kind of like capped in because you don't want other people around you to like be uncomfortable. It's a very like caretaking energy, but
Mm-hmm.
it kind of reads as cold and parental. So I feel like the way that she's so comfortable with darkness and she's so comfortable with all of these like scary emotions, he's so intrigued by it, but it also like freaks him
Yep.
out because he's just like, what do you mean you don't believe in God and you have a really high IQ? Like he's so scared. He's like just a Libra man out here. But it's like, I just think how much she really understands herself helps him in a parallel way also to like how grounded Keith is in who he is and how fixed he is and how that helps stabilize David, because I feel like the Fishers, they just come from this family where they didn't really get to talk about anything and they have so much steam that they have to let off. So
Hmm.
yeah, I feel like Brenda is like a safe container for that. But I mean, like Billy and her family, like she just, I feel like her whole character is just is 6 feet under in a nutshell, because it's just like, look at all of the
Yep.
ugliness in the world.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like laid bare.
Yeah, my queen.
Love Brenda.
Who are your favorite characters?
Mine is Claire for sure.
Love.
Mine is it's either Nate or Brenda. I can't
Okay,
decide.
yeah.
It depends on what the topic is about.
So true.
It's got
I
to be
think
Brenda for
same.
you.
I'm such a Brenda girl. It's like I know I'm Brenda because of like how I feel also about other characters. Like cuz I feel like I align with her. But also I went through a phase
Yeah.
where like Ruth was my favorite for a minute just because I was so like, when we get into like long hair Ruth era, I'm like, "Oh my God, once her hair is down, that's like, oh, love."
Yep.
Yes. Like when she starts
Oh,
hanging out
that'll be
with
so exciting
Bettina.
to talk about.
Yes.
I
I
know. I
love
can't wait.
long
And
hair
we're
Ruth.
getting closer because she broke out Sarah's songs in the most recent ep, so or
Yes.
was reunited.
I love that song.
It's the it's her entry. Oh yes.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so then Claire. Um, okay. So so interesting
My
because
girl.
she's the best. She's probably would be like my second favorite also. Um, because her acting is just also insane. Like it's really underrated.
Yeah, Lauren
Yeah.
Ambrose. She is very underrated. She's in Yellow Jackets now too, which I have only watched the first few episodes. I didn't get into that show, but I know that she's really good in it,
I'll have
and
to
she
watch
looks
that too. Oh my
amazing.
I
god.
was gonna watch for her because I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Let me just look at it.
She said she's in episode or season 2, Chloe.
Of Yellow Jackets?
Yeah.
I think she's in all of them. I don't know. I watched that was so long ago. I don't remember anymore.
Oh, okay.
But she is like, okay, so Drew, I am a straight female, but Claire is like my one.
Yeah.
Like I am obsessed with her.
She's the one.
And Parker McKenna, I kind of have a crush on her
Oh
too.
my
But
god, Parker McKenna. I don't know if you guys watch Southern Charm, but she kind of looks like Sally from Southern Charm. And I've been watching like both at the same time, and I'm like, this is weird. But I love Parker McKenna.
So funny. All right, let's hear about our girl Claire. I'm so
I know I'm like
excited.
I have to give her a good one.
I have a crush on her, but I also want to be her.
Yeah.
Like,
She's just like
she's so cool.
she is like the coolest. And the way she's able to be like so like classic stereotypical like oh mom, but like without being a bad actress is like crazy. It's like hard to do.
Yeah.
I know.
You know what I mean?
It's so authentic and so like you can tell, you can see like the question marks in her brain of like what the fuck is wrong with you?
Literally. Okay, so what was so interesting about her is I she feels like such a Pisces Leo mix to me, and I happened to like look at her real chart and I was like, "Oh, she's literally like a Pisces sun, Leo moon." Um I think in real
Interesting.
life. And I like sat with that and I was like, "Yeah, that's still like I think I still despite it being her as an actress, like I think that actually she is a Pisces Sun Leo Moon in the show, and I feel like I kind of like have my reasons why, but I think she's also Aquarius rising. Um, and so the fire comes up with the Fishers with David Sagittarius and Nate's Sagittarius and Ruth with her Aries, but Claire has the Leo fire in my mind. Like she
Mm.
she's like she's the one I feel like something that's so like Leo moon about her is like she has this energy of like okay, well actually rewind. So Pisces sun Leo moon together is somebody that's going to be extremely creative, extremely artistic. If you are listening to this and you have those two signs in your big 3, it's like chances are you are a heavily creative person with just like a beautiful eye. I think Leos do an amazing job at like making their own clothes or like singing, design, like they just can do so much creative stuff. And so like her being like the artist, which is also such a Pisces archetype, makes sense. And I think she's kind of like her
Mm-hmm.
mom, like when it comes to relationships and just being a little bit like delusional about like the men she chooses, that also kind of gives Pisces sun energy to me. Um,
Mm-hmm.
she also has to go on
Gabe.
a journey. Gabe is beyond like it's like girl, but it's so it feels like someone a Pisces would date. And I'm not trying to roast. It's just Pisces are very like magical, artistic people, and people tend to want to take advantage or they are usually subject to more like manipulation in relationships.
Yeah.
And seeing what they want to see because they're ruled by Neptune and Jupiter. So it's just like they can kind of make their own reality, which is kind of what I was saying Ruth does with her relationships. And it's like when channeled right and when channeled in a healthy way with like boundaries and spirituality, like her art school era is like the best. I love it so much because I feel like she really starts to just
Yes.
like, yeah, grow into the artist part of the Pisces energy. Um, but she's so absorbent
I love that they
and
did that for her character too.
yes. I think that's like my favorite era for her. Just like that whole like art school moment and the way that she is like this observer and she's like absorbing everything going on, but also like the the thing about Aquarius risings and Leo moon together, if you put that in a chart, Aquarius and Leo are opposite each other. Um, so you guys are actually opposite signs of each other. You guys are sister signs?
Oh,
Yeah, there's like a
That makes sense,
polarity.
honestly.
Yeah, and I like love the Aquarius Leo axis, and you guys can tell me how this resonates for you, but it's like I see this as Claire's Aquarius rising is the Aquarius part of her, and then the Leo moon is the Leo part. So Aquarius wants the same attention that Leo stereotypically wants, but at the same time, it really struggles to. It's very like I'm the coolest one in the room, low key, but like don't leave me out. Like it's like I'm the black sheep, but I also would like to be included. Like they really do care about friendship, but they have an edginess and a coolness to them and like a progressive vibe because they're ruled by the planet Uranus, but they still long for the same attention and fun as their sister sign, Leo. It's just a little bit, I think, harder for them to admit. They're more like edge lord vibes. So I feel like that's her Aquarius rising. It's like she's Aquarius on the surface. She can't help but be a little different. She's driving like a hearse to school and like she's just she can't help it. Like on her appearance and with the way that her authenticity exists in the first house, it's like she makes us question in the classic Aquarius rising way like how we express ourselves, and she kind of like challenges us to
hmm
do it with like a more just like a more authentic progressive vision. And then that puts her moon the opposite sign as her rising, and it puts her moon in her seventh house of relationships, meaning she's somebody that can get tied up in partnerships and really values partnerships and really wants to be in a romantic relationship where she feels like she's getting the attention and love and loyalty that she's willing to give. Um, and I do like I know they all have like breakout sometimes like singing and song moments, but I just feel like hers are like a very Leo, like it's very like theater whenever it happens with her.
Yep.
But yeah, her inner fire to me feels more Leo. It honestly feels like the most confident fire of all of the Fishers. Like she feels like the most confident about her
stable.
emotions. Honestly, yeah. And like Leo is like fixed like that. So it's like emotionally she has more of like a hold on herself. Like I feel like when she gets the ick, she gets the ick and that's it. Like she moves through
Yeah,
things very Leo moon way. Um but like she deserves to similar to your chart, Chloe, actually. Kind of how I was saying, it's like that Aquarius rising shyness. It's like she needs the celebration and people celebrating her and people loving her. Like she has to get comfortable with the fact that she is an artist and that she is meant to be seen. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I like, oh, she's best.
I love that.
But yeah,
Oh,
I
I
love
love her
that.
so much.
yeah, I feel
That
like
does make a lot of sense.
she's most similar to Ruth when it comes to like relationships in my mind. But
Sure.
they're all fire moons. Um, I gave them every single one of them actually. How does a fire moon?
That is so crazy. I love when we get to the part in the series when Claire is with Ted. I won't
Yes.
go into detail or give spoilers, but like, oh,
Okay, good because I don't
Okay.
remember.
Yeah, and I feel like
it's
that's
way
a
later on. You'll love
perfect,
it.
it's like a perfect match for an Aquarius rising because it's just like, but um, yeah. I was also thinking about Lisa. I was like, what is Lisa? But I think she's a Pisces sun, Cancer rising. Her moon, I don't know, but I think she's probably like Pisces Cancer mix. Yeah, maybe a
Interesting.
Gemini moon.
Lisa is one that I feel
I
my opinion of her, not opinion, but like my vibe towards her is polar opposite watching it this time around than when I first watched it years ago. I
Yeah.
just perceive her so differently in comparison to the change in how I perceive other characters. It's
A hundred
interesting.
percent same. Like I feel like because such a Brenda girl, it's like I couldn't stand her, but then on the rewatch, you guys are about to get to like the Catherine O'Hara parts, so I'm so excited for you. But
Yeah.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
God,
rest in
yes.
peace. Rest
she's
in peace.
so funny in this.
Oh,
But yeah, like
yeah.
now
Very
watching it
excited.
around, I have way more like empathy for her, and just also I'm like, wow, I she's a very like real person. Like I just feel like they do a good job with that. Where like I feel like I've like met someone like Lisa before, you know?
Yes.
Mhm.
Like
You
she's
Mhm.
know, I
good.
was thinking too earlier when you said, Drew, that they didn't, none of them had a Gemini. When you first said that, I thought the first person I thought of was Lisa. I was like, well, I feel like I don't
Yeah.
know a lot about astrology, but most of the Geminis that I've met, she's very similar to.
I was actually just like thinking as I was like saying like, okay, I definitely think Cancer rising, Pisces sun, but I think she's a Gemini moon 1,000% because I think there's this energy of that like she gives off this like Pisces like spiritual like ethereal sort of thing, and the Cancer rising is a little bit
Yep.
rose coded, a little bit it's like sweet but a little bit passive aggressive. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but then privately, in her private emotional world, it's like there's this split Gemini thing. It's like there's two things happening. It's like, what is happening here? And I can't, like, she does
Mm.
have this like duality to her emotional world, and like, no spoilers or whatever, but it's like I really do see that for her. And I think it's so fascinating, even though they're not real. But I'm like, the way that I truly feel
Yes.
like Scorpio and Gemini only come in a supporting character way because the Fishers don't embody it, if that makes sense. But
Yes.
like it's like Aunt Sarah, she's giving Gemini, and I think Nathaniel Senior was probably like Capricorn Gemini moon because you could tell he was kind of silly, and that they don't have that.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like also like
Yeah.
you guys can edit it out spoiler wise, but I just feel like George like mirrors Nathaniel Senior in a way where you can tell they're all
Mhm.
triggered, and it's just like he's so Gemini coded.
Uh-huh.
I'm always like,
Yes.
imagine he had Chat GPT. I think about it all the time.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. This was so interesting. Did we get through all of the main
I
main
think
Yeah, I
so.
people?
think
And like Rico's the
yeah, we
only
did.
one, but I'm like, if we need to, we can. I'm like, poor Rico.
Fuck
I'm like,
Rico, man.
fuck him, but he's a boring ass Capricorn, Virgo moon, Cancer rising, if you're wondering. I did like think
I
about
mean, we can
it.
go into him if you want. I'm
No,
just
it's
being a shit.
okay.
Uh,
I feel like we did a good
what
like
did he do? Yeah, we did a really good overview. What did Rico do in the most recent episode? Oh, he was yelling at Vanessa and it pissed me off.
yeah,
So
Yeah.
I'm
the
just, and he just keeps
machismo.
getting worse at this point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when all of the machismo bullshit,
Machismo.
it's like that's Capricorn energy, and then I think he's a Virgo moon, Cancer rising, because I feel like he's very like Capricorn men are so like traditional, so especially when they're coming any type
Yeah,
of
he's
like
very rigid.
yeah, and like the rigid Virgo energy too. But I also think the Cancer rising, like I'm not a Rico hater. I think that they put his character through so many different things that I think the moments where he like chooses to be a good person are interesting and like sometimes redeemable. Like I don't
Yeah.
know. I feel like he's an interesting
He's so
one.
polarizing
Yeah, but and I hate the homophobic stuff with him. I feel like that's like the toughest stuff. But
for sure.
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like he's so like he can be very like chauvinistic in a very like Capricorn man like shadow kind of way. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah. And then I think Vanessa's a Leo
Yeah.
because she's just like shut up. Like she has like I don't know, she has like confidence, and I feel like they go so well together.
For sure. I do love them. And I do like Rico pisses me off and overall I usually feel like fuck Rico, but I do love his character. I feel like we say that almost every other episode. We're like, fuck Rico, but he's
He's
so
so
like,
good.
I love him. Yeah,
Yeah.
especially even just the actor and his mannerisms and his spicy, like he does a spicy Latino so good.
Yeah.
Like it's just so,
I was just watching the one where he did like his Sistine Chapel, and she's like, "Baby, this
oh shoot, you just muted.
did I? Am I back?"
Yep,
Wait, I
you're
can hear
better
you now.
now.
Yeah.
He's just so fun.
So
He like
say that again.
no, he like geeks about dead bodies the way that I geek about astrology. And I'm like, wow, I get you, I guess.
Yep.
Yes.
He loves what he does.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's like the vibe of him that is like so endearing is he's so proud of his work and I don't know. It's funny. It definitely is a
He is
funny
so
character.
proud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is.
Shit, man.
He he's like
And rightably
yeah.
so.
He has like a cute, sweet face in a way that Cancer Risings do also. Like I find Cancer Rising people to just always have like this sweet baby face thing happening. So I would guess
Gosh,
that as his
funny.
rising. But then it would put relationship energy in Capricorn, so it's like he needs to be the traditional man when it's his relationship. Like and he's always like bugging
Mm-hmm.
about that. Um
For sure.
the last thing I
He
wrote
is freaking
down
out about it.
he's flipping out and it's like relax he when I texted you guys about like the heated rivalry thing like he would not be okay.
Yes. Can you imagine? Oh my
Oh
gosh, he'd be
my
losing his
god.
shit.
The last thing I wrote was okay, I wrote down Sarah as Aries sun, Gemini moon, Leo rising. um I feel like she's where the Gemini shows up and like a lot of just like this alternate version of Ruth. She's the Aries sun, so she gets to embody in the daylight all the emotional freedom and independence that Ruth kind of like privately seeks. Um, and yeah, she's just so like dramatic and expressive and creative. So I felt like Leo rising made sense for her.
Hmm.
Yeah, and then you'll get there when you get there, but George is triple Gemini.
Oh,
Everything. Like,
really?
yeah.
That's awesome. So interesting. Yeah, I definitely remember George, but so I watched 6 Feet Under back in 2015, and I feel like Courtney watched it at about the same time, and then I
Yep.
rewatched it again about I don't know 2 or 3 years ago, and then now this is my third watch. So I have a more, but Courtney never rewatched it in between
Okay, yeah.
2015 and now, so I remember a lot more than she does,
Yeah.
but I don't remember. There's things that I don't because it was there's enough of a gap of time for me to like lose some of it. Um, but now that you're talking about George, it has me thinking back to when he comes in, and that's so interesting to think about because you're so right.
Yeah.
How all the people who come into their lives are like these.
They're like trying to
Oh,
communicate like normal people and like they're very like buzzy and the Fishers are just
yeah.
so like rigid. Um but yeah, George is so funny. I would honestly I'm probably in the double digits with how many times I've watched 6 Feet Under. I'm just like a chronic rewatcher of things. Um
I love
yeah,
that.
so like if you guys ever want to have me on, I'm like my favorite episode is Timing and Space. It's in like
Timing
Timing
season
in
and
space.
space.
4 or 5. Yeah.
I'm writing it down. But no, we'd love to have you on again. And we should
Absolutely.
do just like more stuff in general like this because this is so fun. And sometimes we don't have the time. Like sometimes we want to record, but we like didn't have the time to take notes and stuff. So this is fun to like be able to do something else and talk about the show, but not necessarily have to do all of our prep work and stuff. So thank you so much for reaching out to us, and I'm so glad that we connected. And tell everybody one more time where they can find you if they want to book a service or give you a shout.
Yeah, so angeliteastrology.com, and same thing on TikTok and Instagram. I'm not on Twitter.
Awesome. Awesome. And don't forget to like, subscribe, leave us a comment, give us a review, shoot us an email, 6feetunfiltered@gmail.com if you want to tell us your thoughts or ask us a question or something. Thanks for listening.
If you got your own aha moments, let us know in the comments. I think it'd be so cool to see if anybody else was like, oh my God, I align so much with this character or that character, and we have the same sun, moon, and rising. It'd be really cool.
Please do. Sounds good. All right. Well, have a great night, everybody, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.